Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a squat and deadlift day. So today I went ahead, just because the workouts are so short with a lot of work density, just to get some decent footage, I went ahead and filmed all of my warm-ups other than the empty bar. So you guys see me do the 3-plate ramp up, the 4-plate ramp up. I did my heaviest single today with 441. Obviously you guys can tell from how it moved, it's not a max, and that's okay. I need just enough training response to maintain a squat pattern right now. And even some of the days I'm not even doing real quad work outside of the one peak set of squats and then my heavy deadlifts. And other days I do come in and do all the belt squats and things. But right now I do have limited recovery. I feel like my bench and my deadlift training is so intense at the moment that they use up all of my recovery resources. And the thing is, look how much they've gone up. They've gone up really well. My benching is by far the strongest you guys have ever seen it on YouTube. It's the strongest it's been since I was in my 20s at a 20 pounds heavier body weight. That is the only time in my life I have been stronger on the bench than I am right now. Was weighing 240 something pounds at age 27, age 28, so on. I'm 46 now. So yeah, so it's paid off. It's paid off. And the same thing with the squatting. I'm not putting a straight bar on my back and beating my shoulders up. In fact, right now my shoulders have zero inflammation, zero pain. I can't tell that I've ever had any impingement. I can't tell any of that at the moment. Everything actually feels really good. And I like that fact. I'm able to bench with high volumes, high workloads. Again, not total sets, but just the tonnage moved. Twice a week. Pain-free. Inflammation-free. I'll take it. So deadlifting, man, these sets, these work sets with the deadlift bar are brutal on my hands. Both the testing the grip and just the hand conditioning to that aggressive knurl. It's something else right now. I was able to hold on to all of it with no tearing today. Looking at the skin, no apparent tears. The skin's not broken anywhere. My hand skin is inflamed a little bit because, again, the cheese grater like effect on that deadlift bar. For those curious, I am using a Texas deadlift bar. Yes, it's obviously made in Texas. Obviously, it's made near me, but that's a specific brand and bar. It's also the one very commonly used in official competitions in powerlifting. Anyone who's grabbed that bar knows what I'm talking about. Keeping in mind, I'm doing rep work in the 500s with just chalk on that bar. So again, anyone who's grabbed that bar understands what I'm talking about. For people who have only used just the normal commercial bars at a gym, you have no concept. In fact, if that is all you've ever used the first time you grab a bar like this, I'm going to say with 90% of your 1 rep max for a single rep, it will probably rip your skin. Just an FYI, if you've never grabbed a bar like this before, you've never trained on it. So when I'm talking, this is what we're talking about. I'm dealing with an extremely aggressive competition bar. And I like to pull on that bar. The reason for it trains my hands to be ready for competition. Okay, grip tends to be a limiting factor for me on deadlifts. I'm having to really, really push the grip work on my other days. Of course, this trains my grip really hard too, what I'm doing right there. I'm taking grip seriously because grip tends to limit me. Grip also means that your skin tears easier. When grip starts to slip on a bar like that, that is when the skin rips happen the most. So accordingly, I'm working on all of that because that tends to limit. The only other thing that limits my deadlifts is my hamstrings, which even on days like this, I take hamstring training very seriously. I'm not doing any squat pattern movements today. So what does that mean? I'm going really hard on the hamstring stuff. That was 3 sets of reverse hypers, right? On a full range of motion with a 25-pound plate up on almost in front of my face. It's not way down low on the chest. It's up high. We're putting a lot of leverage. So someone brought that up in the last vlog. They're like, I'm more impressed that you can use a 25-pound plate like that on us. That's crazy. But then I'm like, and they're like, but that makes sense. You're also repping mid 500s for rep work on a deadlift. Kind of makes sense. Like, right. Because if my hamstrings get stronger, my deadlift gets stronger, period, flat out. Anything that makes my hamstring stronger makes my deadlift go up. Every single time. Doesn't matter whether it's a good morning, a Romanian deadlift, a glute ham raise. Doesn't matter. I like the glute ham raise because it hammers the hamstrings in such a unique way. Okay. Then I come in and I do all this restoration work on the reverse hyper. Trains the work capacity of my low back, helps with the recovery of the low back. I get a hell of a pump in my low back. My low back starts cramping by the time I'm done with these. It's more intense on my low back than the deadlift work sets, but it's restorative at the same time. This is one of the reasons I'm able to get away with what I do on the deadlift, because that comes up too. Yes, I have fatigue management. Yes, I do a lot of things to help with recovery at my age. Those 2 all-out deadlift sets I do every week because they're spaced out through the week. If I did not do this reverse hyper, I don't know that my low back could keep up with that. Not at age 46. Absolutely not. So that's also a big factor for me. So I come in and do these to finish off. This also works the entire posterior chain. It's a great glute exercise. It even works the hamstring, just not to the degree that those glute ham raises do. So by doing that work set of deadlifts and then doing enough glute ham raises, depending upon what else I'm doing that day, depending on my recovery, pushing those pretty hard will ensure that my deadlift strength goes up. All the grip training ensures that I will be able to actually grip what I can pull, because that's the problem I run into. Right now, I feel like my posterior chain, and again, all the primary movers are capable of pulling more weight on a deadlift than I can grip. If I were to go for 100% max right now, I feel like my grip would limit the bar speed and the ability to lock it quickly. Okay, that's usually what gets me. Hands starting to tear or grip starting to slip. They tend to go hand in hand. So for me, that's going to be the winning ticket. That's going to be the key to getting the deadlift up to that next tier. Double down on the hamstring work and the grip. And the reason grip is so important is because I have relatively short thumbs, so I can't hook grip. I've tried hook grip for a long time. Never worked well for me. Never as strong as mixed grip. So ultimately, grip training becomes kind of a big deal. Becomes a major deal for me personally, especially at the strength levels I'm at. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.